We need a new beginning. You know, I've had a 40-year career, and I saw real changes between the first 20 years of my career and the second 20 years. When my career started, and I've been privileged in a way to be very up close and personal with people during some of their most desperate times. But when my career began, somebody going through something really terrible, it was the diagnosis of terrible disease, or it was a loss of a loved one, a child is addicted to heroin, whatever it was. People whose lives were in real trouble. That was the exception, not the rule. We're living in a time where people living with serious anxiety, lives sort of falling apart, almost seems more like the rule than the exception. So I asked myself, what's the difference? You know what the difference is, among other things, but a big factor? In those days, when my career started, we still had a thriving middle class. And I've come to realize that you cannot overestimate the factor, the role of economic anxiety, chronic economic anxiety that the majority of Americans live with. This is in the richest country in the world. So we need fundamental economic reform. We don't just need a little tweaking it here or tweaking.
What would you do?
We need universal health care. We need free college tuition and tech school, which we had in this country until the 1960s. We need free child care. We need paid family leave.
Who's going to pay
we need
for that? You're not worried about paying for that?
First of all, everything that I'm talking about here, which, by the way, are moderate positions in every other advanced democracy, they are simply that which is granted to the citizens of every other advanced democracy. Everything I'm talking about, Greta, is a financial stimulant. The things that we spend our money on now are financial depressants, except to the very few who are rewarded by them. So this idea, how do you pay for it? You know, this is an old canard. You know, they don't ask that about the $2 trillion tax cut that will never pay for itself. In 2017, where 83 cents of every dollar went to the highest earners. They never ask about that when you look at the $8 trillion that we spent on Iraq and the last 20 years of Afghanistan, which were such a spectacular failure.